Grand Rising, y'all. Y'all talking about this early. Y'all know I be up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I be doing spiritual work. I've been up since 3 a.m., baby. So this is not early for me. My day been started for about 2.5 hours. Um, I'm walking downstairs, y'all, because the boys is asleep. But I wanted to be able to explain this without interruption. Because later on today I will be doing readings all day, so I won't be able to explain this. So I want to explain this without interruption. Grand risings. And yes, y'all, honey, I be walking around in my moo and my little scarf in the morning time because I be up doing spiritual work. I have to do a lot of people's spiritual work early in the morning time. And I've been busy with work this week. We got a lot of, we got a lot of court case work going. And I got a lot of court case work going, and I got a lot of other work for people in school and stuff like that going. So I have been up every morning at 3:30 in the morning. Um, so this is just starting my day. I, but anyway, I want to go here and talk about some of the comments that I got on the Nicki Minaj video, and I saved two in particular because I wanted to address it. So this person said, I want to get started just addressing these things, and I'm going to stop in the middle of the things that they said so that I can explain. Because y'all know I like to be thorough. It's the lawyer in me, right? So this person said, Nicki needs to be clear on what Roc Nation did to her, and maybe others would see her point. The industry put out that Nicki was on coke. They claim it's a video and photos of her using. She should have sued a long time ago to put it to rest. Nicki did jump out the window with Punch because Broken Barbies was a song promotion, not about Nicki. Drake claimed he sent people to give fake tea to die and had proof. It was the hotel employee who gave up the stuff Drake left in the hotels. They reported his fake name and who he had coming there when they got fired. So if Drake intentionally faked info to die, why would SZA be dragged for his plan? Okay, so let me just start this, okay? I want to stop right there. Hold on, y'all. So, Nicki has made it very clear. Nicki has made it very clear why she is not fooling with Roc Nation. Okay. She talked about how they pretended that everybody was paid out $9 million for their stake in title when they never received a payout. She also spoke about how Roc Nation and owned Live Nation and took over $100 million from her. So I don't know if I was clear on that yesterday, but now I'm going to clearly say that she has stated what Roc Nation has done to her. She's also said that they purposely sabotaged her and been behind a lot of the smear campaigns that come with her. I will go on record and say that I have never seen a picture or a video of Nicki Minaj doing any type of drug. Like I said, her and Safari referenced the fact that she abused pills, but it was never said that she did anything harder than that. Besides, she just, smoked weed and she took pills at one point in time. But I remember she said that like something had happened where that made her stop taking pills. I can't remember because it was a while ago, but I do know that she stopped taking pills. Something had happened. I think she almost OD'd, like she was on the brink of, not being here anymore. So I feel like that's what stopped her from the whole pill thing. And so then they go on to talk about well, how did SZA get dragged into it? So I don't know if y'all were clear on what the fake information was that Drake sent over. Drake only planted fake information about the suitcase that was supposedly found with things that he left with items that did not make sense. and the fake information about the daughter. But the other things that Kendrick said came from SZA. So yes, there was some fake information. There was somebody that gave fake information about the daughter and the supposed suitcase that they found with weird items in it. But there was some things that was said that came from SZA. Okay. Not only that, but she went on to do music with Kendrick Lamar and went on to travel and tour with him. So that is the issue. And I think Nicki ended up bringing it up later on yesterday after I did my video. So, she even talked about, how SZA did Drake and all this. So there we go with that. Okay. Lotto dragged Nicki and Drake helped her with her whole album and flew her to the UK. Um, Bobby Shmurda came out about Rock Nation, but nobody stood behind him. That's who Nicki should speak with and drop the facts. This is how I know this person doesn't have Twitter. But I concur with that. As far as Drake and Mulatto, I don't know if you guys understand this. When you work in business, you may not like a person, you may not care for a person. I'm sure Nicki may not care for Lotto, but I don't feel like she is the type of person to stop his business aspect, because y'all do know that Drake has a lot of ownership of a lot of things that we don't know about, including Apple Music having a stake in that we don't know about, that is behind the scenes. So him helping artists is kind of a part of his job. She can't stop him from doing his job. That doesn't mean that he is not loyal to her, that he does not love her. We don't know the nature of their personal relationship. Hey, so that's that for your comment. But this is the comment I've been wanting to get to. Now, do I feel like this is a bot? I'm not sure yet. They said that stuff may be true about Jay-Z and Desiree Perez, but why is she just now saying something? It seems like she wants to bring things to the light when it affects her. Why not expose this years ago? So where were you when the big fallout happened right after her and Beyonce did the feature? The announcement came with Tidal, then Jay-Z abruptly sold Tidal. And ever since then, Nicki Minaj has been dissing Jay-Z. Now, where you been? I don't know. I don't know. But if my man, who is not a pop culture person, even knew that Nicki don't fool with Jay-Z, how did you not know that? He ain't even on Twitter or in pop culture. But Nicki Minaj have been dissing Jay-Z ever since after the Pink Print. There was a big falling out after the Pink Print. And nobody knew or understood what happened. Everybody thought she got those millions of dollars from Tidal. So nobody understood what it was. Nobody understood. So that's that with that. So she actually did. Now she cares about victims, but not Kenny's victims. She uses. I thought that lady said that she lied about the whole Kenny thing. Y'all gotta correct me in the comments. But I thought she admitted that her lawsuit was frivolous. Like I thought that happened. I don't know, but I don't have nothing to do with this lady's husband. That's her business, okay? We all married to somebody that's not perfect. You know what really trips me out? Well, I'm not going to say married because we all ain't married, but I'm going to say we all have been in a relationship with somebody that's not perfect. You know what gets me about people that talk about her husband and whatever he's done is, and people that talk about Cardi's husband and what he's done. Oh, that's what I thought, Ebony. She definitely took back what she said about Kenny. But anyway, you know what I think about people that talk about people's marriage and people's husbands, and their husband's personal affairs. I feel jealousy a lot of the times. If I'm telling you about something, in regards to a marriage, I'm more than likely reading on it, but I'm always trying to be positive. Even with the Cardi B and Offset thing, I have always tried to be positive about their marriage because I know how that shit can get, especially being, with a man that is promiscuous, or a man that is have multiple baby mamas, things. I don't judge people for that because you don't know people's life story. You don't know why people move the way that they do. We don't know Offset trauma, why he is a womanizer. We don't know what makes him that way. So I don't want to, judge him at all. You know what I'm saying? I just literally be like, hey, marriage is a unconditional love type thing. Marriages go through separation while dating other people. Marriages go through those things. But if you can find your way back to each other, it's a beautiful thing. So I am not going to talk about that lady's um marriage. She said that she took it back because she was so stressed out about being harassed that she said forget it. But if you raped me and you did these things to me, hey, I wouldn't take anything back because y'all harassing me. Either you gonna stand on 10 toes about it, or you going to jail if y'all bother me. Like, I'm not letting anything go. I'm standing on big business. If you violated my personal, but everybody don't have that mindset. So, but anyway, um, she uses protect black women when it suits her or when she feels wrong. That's what made me feel like you might be a bot. Because that sounds like you were talking about Meg Thee Stallion. There's no way that you were talking about Nicki Minaj because that lady ain't said nothing about no protect. That lady ain't said nothing about no protect black women. Demore is not a black woman. She is like a Puerto Rican. She's not black. She is a Puerto Rican. Desiree Perez, they're Spanish. Either they're I don't, Nikki called them Mexicans, but I don't know if they're Mexicans or not. They could be Filipino or they could be Puerto Rican. I'm not sure, but these are not black people. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's like you have made up in your mind what her agenda is. That's what gives bot to me, right? So then they go on to say she's always the victim. She's been in the game how many years and people think she didn't have to play the same game. She said the other girls had to play. Please. I'm disappointed in you because you didn't used to be biased. Oh, damn, I'm trying to read it, y'all. Let me see if I can read myself. Because, like, y'all words right there. Let me see if I can move y'all. Okay. You didn't used to be biased. You used to have predictions on your Twitter. Now you're a full-time Barb support page. You may not have always supported Megan, but I know you used to support Cardi. Now everything posted is all about Nicki. I guess anything for numbers and support. That's why I feel like you're bot. Because just last month, I was tweeting everything Tory Lanez. When Tory Lanez team was rallying behind them, my Twitter followers, y'all know I was retweeting Tory Lanez stuff every day. The same way I'm doing it while these things are going on with Nicki. I'm not a Bard page, but she is advocating for something that is important. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to be bluntly honest with you. Anything that helps Tory Lane's case, I'm going to avidly support it. Because in proving that these people are corrupt, it help further proves that Tory Lanez is innocent. That is my end game. I do wish for justice for the people that have been harmed over the years, but Tory Lanez is my reason. Because if things are exposed, that helps reveal things in his case. That helps people go back and take a look at his case. Because these same people were involved. Desiree Perez was in an interrogation room with Megan Thee Stallion, as well as Kelsey Harris. that ultimately ended Tory Lanez up in jail. So if you want to know my reason, it is because I want Tory Lanez out of jail. It pains me so bad that we watched a innocent man be publicly crucified, lied on, and placed into jail. That hurts me. Even in my local hometown, if I see something like that, I am the one that is going to show up to the courtroom. I am going to see if there's a way that I can personally help a person. Why do you think that I excel in court case work? Because I'm a Libra. I am all about justice. I'm all about the scales being balanced. I'm not a full-time bar support page. What it is right now, Nicki is advocating for this. And every time she makes a post exposing Rock Nation, I am going to retweet it. Not because it's Nicki Minaj, not because it's Nicki Minaj, but because I want Tory Lanez free. You are looking at a small program. To me, this helps Tory's case. If they look into this, they will start looking into his case. Because Desiree Perez, why were you there? If this was so open and shut, if everybody knew what happened, why did Meg the Stallion need to be coached by you? So I don't know where you get that from, that I would ever post anything for likes or views or whatever you said. But I'll tell you my reason. I'm not ashamed. My reason is because I want Tory Lanez's case looked into. I want a innocent man. I want an innocent man freed. I want an innocent man home with his child. You don't know what I got going on. Why am I so invested in this with Tory Lanez? You don't know. So for you to come and say, um, I'm supporting, or I've always been a barb. If you go way back to me doing Nicki Minaj reasons and saying I'm disappointed in how she acting, blase, 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 you hear me say I'm a barb. I don't know what's going on with Nicki. I don't know what's going on with Nicki. Y'all see how whoever this is, who's seriously dedicating themselves to pop culture, why you writing for somebody who don't give a F about you? That's a bot to me. You're trying to trick me out my spot. You want to know my information. You want to know what I got going on. It doesn't matter. I'm invested in Tory Lane's story. I want an innocent black man free. A black man that tried to diffuse a situation that he felt like he started because of what he said. He shouldn't have revealed those things in that moment, but we here now. That does not mean that he deserves to be jailed for 10 fucking years. So if you want to know my reasoning why I am riding with this, I want Tory Lanez free. I want his case to be looked at. Now, when you said I used to support Cardi, I've came on live and said I loved Cardi B, but I have heard this woman wish death on Offset several times. So then that makes me think to myself, what kind of person are you? Because if something would happen to him, you know who would be devastated? Culture. Do you not love your daughter more than you have your personal feelings about her dad? Chastity's father beat me. Chastity's father beat me. I've never wished death on him. I've never wished jail on him because you know who ends up being affected in the end? The children. Offset didn't even beat you. He cheated on you. He wasn't a good husband to you. Okay, move on. But for you to get on a live internet and say that you wish somebody died slow, and when they're dying slow, you want them to think of you, I think that something is wrong with you. Because in the South, we don't play that wishing death on people because we know that life and death lies in the tongue. We know that wishing death may actually come back and hit your family tenfold. That's why I don't fuck with Cardi B anymore. I could never fuck with her again. I don't respect her as a woman because as a grown woman, you sitting on the internet telling your kid's father, the one that your daughter adores, that you hope that he dies slow? Not you hope. I want you to die slow. Y'all think that that's okay? Y'all don't see a problem with, y'all don't think y'all should stop following her shit? Y'all don't think that shit crazy? That shit is crazy. You is crazy. I lost all respect for her after that. For me, it's never been a Nicki Cardi thing. I do think she pregnant, but I guess we'll see. You know, hey, you never know. People that have been seeing her in person say that they feel that she's pregnant. I do think she's pregnant. So I'm gonna tell you something. I understand being mad at your spouse and being in the thick of it. I've went through separation. I've went through it. I went through separation with my husband. I know what it's like to can't stand your motherfucking spouse. I know. But I ain't never said I wish nothing bad happened to him. Cause that man got kids that love him and need him. Your children need their father. And you want him to die? You're questionable. And if y'all thought that was okay for her brand, and I don't even understand how she haven't lost brand deals. She is not a good person. She ain't a good person at all. To me, that's my perception of her. I don't give a fuck if that was Queen Latifah coming out and saying you want somebody to die on a public platform. Whether you like it or not, there are little girls that watch you that want to be a Cardi B. Culture loves her father. Wave loves his father. We don't know much about Blossom and Offset, but him with them kids love him. Why would you wish to hurt your children? Why would you devastate that? Do you know the lifelong effects that a death of a parent has on a child? That's why I don't fuck with Cardi B. So I hope that answered your question. I am a full-time advocate for anything that is right. I I am an advocate for what's right. So right now, it may look like I'm a barred page because Nicki Minaj is tweeting a lot right now. And what she's tweeting, she's giving out information that I want to use my platform to shed light on for my followers to see what she's saying so that they can read these court cases, so that they can read these statements from Nicki Minaj. Not because I'm a barred page. If that's the case, I was a Tory Lanez page last month. Everybody know that I use my Twitter Twitter for my personal things. If you follow me on Twitter, I share personal thoughts on there. I don't just do predictions on no damn Twitter. I don't know what Twitter you was on. Yeah, I may do predictions here and there. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I had a dream, I may post it, whatever, whatever. But I don't just use that page to make predictions. I don't even know what you're talking about when you said that. I use my Twitter for my personal That's my Twitter that I done had since 2014. That's the same Twitter that I done showed out on and cuss people out on. Child, you going down the timeline, you'll see me cussing folks out. You gonna see me cussing people out. So for you to say that it's a bar pay, no, it's not. I'm advocating for what I believe to be true. I would like for this negative energy in business to be exposed. This don't have nothing to do with Jay-Z for me. This only has to do with the players that set up Tory Lanez going to jail. Because I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. That's how I feel. And I have been advocating for Tory Lanez since this situation happened. I believed him from day one. When I read on this, I knew he didn't do what I told y'all. I seen a female energy grand rising. So therefore, if the people that are involved in what Nicki Minaj is talking about is also involved in what is going on with Tory Lanez, I'm going to advocate for it. And I'm going to be honest, if it would have been something else that I seen, whether it had to do with Tory Lanez or she was advocating for somebody else, and like if she was advocating for, I don't know, say if she was advocating for Mel from Love and Marriage Huntsville, if somebody wronged Mel, I'm going to stand by that because I don't like to see people be wronged. It don't matter who she advocating for. That's just me. So I don't know who this person is, but I definitely believe you're a bot, or if you ain't a bot, I feel like you like a spy or something. Y'all, I have a lot of famous people that follow me every day. When I say things or when I post certain things, you know, you who's to say who's watching me? You know what I'm saying? And because a lot of my readings have held true, they may be more prone to see what I'm gonna say about something. Which is why I don't run to do world events and uh do all that stuff. Because they may be worried about what I'm gonna say. Because my readings have held true. And so you never know who's watching. I'm sure my readings have been passed on a lot. A lot. I knew that I knew that they were watching me when Eddie Griffin followed me. I think that's when I was like, okay, okay. Because that's a legend to me. Now, Eddie Griffin may not be a legend to these new kids, but to me, that's a legend. Eddie Griffin is a legend to me. Foolish was my favorite movie growing up when I was a kid. And I know I wasn't supposed to watch it. That was my movie that I snuck and watched over and over and over again, knowing that my grandma would have a heart attack. I knew that, okay, you in these Hollywood streets now. Because when Eddie Griffin followed me, my page was private. So you requested to follow me. This wasn't even a situation where you ran across my page and just seen me on the roll up. You requested to follow me because there's always been talks about me since I did the Nipsey readings. So I never know who. watching me. I never know who's behind certain pages. And I'm choosing to respond truthfully because I need you to know what my mission is. My mission is to free Daystar Peterson, a innocent black man that was jailed, that diffused the situation, but was blamed for it because a woman can't handle her feelings. So this ain't about no Nicki Minaj. This ain't about no um this ain't about no Nicki versus Cardi thing. This ain't about no um sorry y'all. I'm in the man cave, child. This ain't about no Nicki versus Cardi thing, and it never will be. I have always been a fan of both, but I have to let Cardi go because I don't like her ways. And that's okay. And I would never support Cardi B again, ever. I didn't even listen to Outside because to me you're weird. To me, you don't love your children. Everybody always asks me, they say, why you went out there when James St. Patrick got shot? Because I love my kids. And I didn't want to bear the burden of having to sit down with my children. I didn't want to bear the burden of having to tell my children the most devastating news they would have probably ever gotten in their entire life. When you are a mother, your priorities are different. Your thought process is different. Your kids' emotions come first when you become a mother. Their well being comes first. So for me to hear a woman wish that on her children's father, and for me to be a woman that tried to save mine from it, from that demise, you're not my type of female. And that's okay. Now you in the category with a Meg Thee Stallion. I love Meg Thee Stallion. I loved her. I thought she was so, and I still think she's a very beautiful girl. I thought she was so beautiful at the time. And I thought, wow, she really gonna give Nicki a run for her money. I thought that. I did. I thought she was on an amazing run. Her freestyles were amazing. I thought she was going to be up there with Nicki Minaj. For her to fuck her career up like this over a piece of man is insane. Because no matter what she does, people will reference Tory Lanez for the rest of her career. Nobody is ever going to forget that she put him in jail. And everybody say she didn't press charge. She did. She initiated an investigation by getting on live and saying that he shot her. And then she went in and testified as to such. She put him in jail. If my initial goal in the beginning was to save you, what would make me change that? Emotion. Emotion. Emotion would make me change that. So that's how I feel. Judy, I don't know what you're talking about. But we don't argue over here. I said what I said and I mean it. And if you feel like he put himself, my name ain't Lady. My mama named me Sequoia and they called me Brene. My name ain't Lady. Don't disrespect me, Judy. So Sometimes our spirit just don't align with the people that we like. And I really thought Carter was a very personable person at the end of the day. And then the whole thing about Nicki didn't have to play the game, to play the same game these other girls play. There are so many men that have came out and said Nicki Minaj would never open her legs and to men. Even Charleston White said the only female rapper he respect is Nicki Minaj because he have talked to several people that are in the industry and they all say no, Nicki don't play that shit. So for you to say that, and there are people that have connections to this lady, that know this lady for real, and say, nah, she's not like that. Nicki Minaj was in a relationship for the first 10 years of her career with the same man that she had been with for years. Why would you think? Why do you think Safari was there? Safari was there to protect her. Safari was there to make sure nobody tried her in a disrespectful way. Every studio session that you see of Nicki Minaj in the earlier years, go back, do your research. Safari was right in that studio, waiting on her, hand and foot, encouraging her, motivating her, telling her that sound good, that's dope. See, I'm an original Barb. I am an original Barb, so you can't tell me a lot about that. Because Nikki used to live stream when live streaming wasn't even popular. She would give us insight to her life all the time. So I hope that answered everybody's questions. I I just I really, really hate to see somebody that I know didn't do something go down for it. That's just like with this Carmelo Anthony kid. That case got me so emotionally invested. And I feel in my heart that that was self-defense. That baby don't deserve to be charged with murder. And even the fact that they would not let him walk across the stage highly offended me. Because why he can't walk across the stage? I get that the case is how high profile and this, y'all, that case be eating me up. I hate to see people that are innocent be hurt. I can't stand that. And I know in this world, life is gonna hurt you and things like that. I know that. I'm well aware of that. But people going to jail for stuff they don't deserve, like that lady that owned the daycare and her husband was touching them kids and she killed his ass. Why that lady go to jail? Why that lady go to jail? She was protecting her babies. You got to think that lady in this daycare, that lady in this daycare with these kids every day. Them her babies to her. I'm just like, why did they send her to jail? Stuff like that eats at me. Stuff like that eats at me. You know what I'm saying? I hate to see people that don't deserve to be in certain situations be in it, which is why I try to help people as much as I can, which is why I do certain things at no cost for people when I know they really need help. Which is why I get random cash app requests from random people say they need food, help with whatever, whatever. I give it to them if it's placed on my heart to do so. If the spirit say yeah, that's okay. So I'm just saying, my end game is for Tory Lanez to be free. I support Nicki exposing it because somebody as big as her in the industry had to say something, or it would have fell on deaf ears. Do y'all know that E! News posted Ramir Satterway's case against Jay-Z? When no mainstream stream media would post about that case. We got the Tasha K's and the lovely ties of YouTube that might have talked about it. But no mainstream publication posted about Ramir's case. Because they chalked it up to being Ramir was crazy, trying to make Jay-Z his daddy. When honestly, there was validity to what this boy was saying. And if it were not for Nicki Minaj tweeting and going crazy, if that were not to be the case, would we know as much? She's using her power, her influence, and her celebrity to get things out there that should have been gotten public attention. But when blogs are paid, why are you not paying attention? The Shade Room, the Neighborhood Talk, they're not posting what's going on Twitter, what Nicki Minaj is saying about Desiree Perez and Rock Nation. Are you not paying attention to that? On site is, but on site again is against Rock Nation because they support Milagro. So of course they gonna post it. But do you notice that the main black blogs that have so much to fucking say are not posting this? But they was quick to show you Tory Lanez getting stabbed in jail. See, that's why I say y'all don't use y'all minds. Did you hear what they said on the Breakfast Club? Did you hear how Lauren LaRosa and Jess Hilarious took a back seat and let Charlamagne and DJ Envy talk? And they could not speak against Nikki's character or call her a liar because they know that she's not lying. DJ Envy said if she's saying something, something had to happen because Nikki won't do that. So they ain't even going to paint the narrative. And maybe, just maybe, they heard people's opinions the first time they did a segment, trying to kind of like shun her. No, let's be honest. So, people are going to have an opinion, but I love to answer people's questions. And I'm going to support anything that I feel is right, just like I support Drake. And somebody said something about Nicki posting everything she posted about Punch uh, because of a song called Broken Barbies. That's how I know y'all is just listening to a bunch of BS because that's not what started this. She talked about how Punch had lied on her, had slandered her, and did some other things to her um, behind the scenes. Okay? And do you see how quick he called her to the Breakfast Club and said, oh, she mad because SZA wouldn't get on a song with her? Imagine Nicki Minaj being mad. And I'm not even trying to play SZA. But imagine Nicki Minaj being mad because SZA did not want to get on a song with her. That don't even sound right. But do you know people will kill? Hold on, y'all. Because I hear too much bumping and frumping. But do you know people would kill to get Nicki Minaj on a song? Why would she be mad about Scissor? Let me check on my boy. Hold on, y'all. I had to check on my boy. They both still asleep. I'm gonna come upstairs because I was scared I wouldn't hear them. Okay. But yeah, people would kill to record with Nicki Minaj. Why would she be mad about Scissor? Nicki Minaj mental gonna be okay. She a Sagittarius. They'll be fine. They crazy. They like crazy stuff. They like crazy stuff. But, I just want y'all to look at the bigger picture. This is not a Nicki versus Cardi thing. This is not a I don't like other female rappers. This is not I'm a Barb fan page. This is I'm on the side of truth. And sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. And sometimes truth look a little crazy. But it don't mean it ain't the truth, okay? So anyway, I got to go. I love y'all. I'll be back with readings a little later because I'm going to drop the boys off today at 9:30 with their grandma. And once I drop them off, I'm going to come back and get prepared to start reading. I love y'all. I hope y'all understood this live. That's why I got on here early just to address these things because I know I'm going to go live later on. We are going to do a deep dive into Megan Milagro's case. I'm getting okay, I'll do Zodiac soon. I'm doing the reading over the transcripts of what's going on because I want to make sure that the information that I convey to y'all about the case is thorough and truthful. So I will come back and do the deep dive about the Meg and Milagro case. So I didn't forget. I'm just going over the transcripts and it's a lot. And I want to make sure that I'm thorough in what I tell y'all. So we're going to do it in due time. Okay? All right, y'all. Love and light.